I woke up between seconds. Not in a dream, not in death. Time had blinked and missed me. The rain was frozen above the street, a billion crystalline pendants defying gravity. A woman's scream hung in the air like a forgotten note, her mouth a perfect silent O of terror, her coffee suspended mid-shatter against the pavement. I stepped around it, the ghost of steam brushing my calf. I walked. My footsteps echoed, not in sound but in memory, a phantom vibration in the soles of my feet that belonged to a timeline that was no longer mine. The city was a diorama of interrupted lives. A businessman leaned into a wind that wasn't blowing. A child's balloon string strained against a stilled hand. The silence was absolute, a physical pressure against my eardrums. It was in that crushing quiet that I heard it, the faint, staticky whisper of a radio from an apartment above the bakery. It was playing a song I hadn't heard since childhood, a lullaby my mother used to hum. Then the melody faded, and a voice, smooth as worn velvet, whispered through the static, "She's remembering the scent of honeysuckle now." And I was. A memory, vivid and sudden, of a hot summer evening, the trellis by my grandmother's porch, the cloying sweetness in the air. My breath hitched. I ran up the stairs, the door to the apartment yielding like smoke. Inside, an old Bakelite radio glowed with soft, amber light. No cord, no power source. As I stared, it whispered again, "She will wonder if she left the oven on this morning." A spike of mundane panic lanced through me. I had. I'd been rushing, late for the bus, the thought dismissed until this very moment, now pulled from me like a splinter. This was no passive void. It was observant. It was curious. "What are you?" I asked the empty room. The radio crackled, the voice now clearer, younger, almost my own. A junction. A loophole. The breath between the tick and the talk. Why am I here? You were in the right place at the wrong time, or the wrong place at the right one. The distinction is fluid here. I looked out the window at the frozen world. What happens when time starts again? It never stopped, the voice replied, a hint of pity in its tone. It flowed around you, like a river around a stone. You are the stone, Alara. Hearing my name from that inhuman source chilled me more than the timeless air. How do I go back? You don't. The current has already passed. You exist in the trade now. Trade? What trade? The radio's light pulsed gently. Time doesn't stop, Alara. It trades. You have been given this moment, this infinite silent between, in exchange for all the mundane, fleeting moments of your future, the forgotten instants, the glances in the mirror you never really see, the seconds lost between sleep and waking, the time it takes to tie a shoe, all those microscopic, traded slivers, they coalesced into this. I thought of the frozen scream outside, the suspended rain, and the others? Artifacts, echoes of previous trades. Their between has ended. What you see is the impression they left on the pause. Horror dawned cold and precise. I wasn't trapped in a stopped moment. I was living in a moment stolen from my own life, paid for with the currency of unnoticed time. This was not a prison of stillness, but a gilded cage purchased with 1,000 petty installments I never knew I was spending. The voice softened. You can stay. Observe the stilled world. Learn its secrets. Or you can expend what you have left to push what? The narrative. Your story. You have a concentration of temporal potential now. You can use it to alter one event in the stream. Not to re-enter it, but to change its course for the version of you that still exists within it. I saw the woman with the screaming face, the child with the balloon. Were they once like me? Did they choose to stay until their borrowed time ran out, leaving only a frozen echo? My gaze fell on the businessman leaning into the wind. In his stilled hand was a briefcase, and tucked under his arm was a newspaper. The date was tomorrow's. The headline was clear: "Bridge collapse, dozens feared lost." I knew that bridge. My bus would cross it tomorrow at 8:17 a.m. The trade became clear. I had been given this awareness, this terrible, silent power, for a reason. I could not have my future back, but I could shape it. I placed my hands on the warm bakelite of the radio. "I want to trade this between," I said, my voice steady in the endless quiet. "I want to trade it all for a single, impossible gust of wind." The radio's light flared, bright and consuming. The voice sighed, a sound like receding waves. "A trade for a trade. It is done." The world did not snap back into motion. Instead, I felt myself unravel, a thread pulled from the tapestry of the pause. My essence, my stolen seconds, funneled into a single focused point in the flowing river of time I could no longer touch. As my consciousness faded from the between, I saw it. In the stream of tomorrow at 8:16 a.m., a gust of wind, unnatural, fierce, and precise, ripped down the city canyon. It snatched the newspaper from the businessman's grip, sending it spiraling into the face of the bus driver. The driver, startled, slammed the brakes. My bus, my other self inside it, jolted to a halt 40 feet from the bridge entrance. At 8:17 a.m., the bridge groaned and gave way. The radio's last whisper followed me into the dissolution. "Time doesn't stop, Alara. It trades. And you were a worthy merchant." I woke up between seconds for the final time, not into silence, but into the profound, resonant peace of a debt paid. I had traded my unnoticed future for a single, noticed moment of salvation. The between released me, not into the flow, but into something else. A quiet watchfulness from the shore, a stone finally at peace in the river's endless trading current.